So basically, said always remember what clients think, what clients need. That is the most important part. So he said you can't buy happiness, but you can hire a lawyer. So they say that's kind of the same thing. You can't buy happiness, but you can hire a lawyer, but still. So that is what we should know, that clients are never happy, whatever you do. So we have to make maximum efforts to make them happy. So how we all are prepared to answer a query depends on how are we reading. So profession demands investment of time to understand a query. And then we have next picture. So anyone who has time to clean is not reading nearly enough. So and that's why I think most of the time my table is full of books and files just to show that I'm reading. But that doesn't mean that we read, but still. Now, like to this one. Yes. So it is very important to read query. That is my main concept in this presentation. But my suggestion is it's not just to give opinion or answers to query. You should read and understand what is the query. You should read and understand the query to even decide how much fee to be quoted, because that also depends on how you read the query, how you understand the query. In my recent example, once I got just 2 weeks ago, there is a Singapore client and they are not our routine client, but they come in between with some query and they send one mail saying that these are my queries and please send the fee code before you start the work. Now when I looked at the query was whether it is mandatory to have managing director for Indian companies. Give with proof. Second query was any consequences. I said, oh, it's simple. It is not mandatory. And second, no consequences if you don't appoint. I said, I don't want to give fee code. I'll just simply reply to this query. Just before replying, I read the query again. And then I saw that they are asking that give the proof. So now it is easy to give proof when they say give the provision where they say that it is mandatory required. But when they are asking proof that give the proof that it is not required. So then you have to read so many provision from act, from rules, and then you have to come to conclusion that it is not mandatory required. So then I sent the fee code, they approved, and then I worked on it and we sent the opinion on that. So it is very important that we read the query properly even before we give the quote. And there are some just to make someone laugh that how much will you charge for answering 2 questions, and lawyer say $200. What is the second question? So that is what all of us try sometime, but it doesn't work always. But and then one more is that how many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? So you said hourly or flat fee. So all of us, we know that we work depends upon how much, it's an hourly fee. We work differently. When it is a lump sum fee, we work differently. And that I think, all of us, as a student, I have learned that they say painting in arithmetic, they were asking that if it's a lump sum fee, how, and if it is, you say, okay, per hour, then what are the charges? So it always quality versus fee. So now next is attending client's query. So what does my client want to know? That is the most important to know. That for answering any query, first we should know what is the client wants, what is client asking for. So understanding client's requirement before proceeding to give answer is very crucial. So understanding why a client would raise a query or seek opinion. So all of us, we know that like, I mean, clients, there are various purpose or objective behind the why they are asking opinion. So now one is to identify legal risks that clients should consider further and take action accordingly. So now they don't want to, they have some what to do. So then they are coming to us and asking that how I should go ahead, whether I should do this or I should not do this, what is the legal requirement and how to go about. Second is to back up their course of action. So to just to back up that I sometimes they come and they say I want to do this, whether I can do, and they are looking for the opinion to just back up their action. Third is to convince someone to do something. To like in their organization, they want their superior to do something, but to convince them, they need some opinion from us. Then be able to defend themselves in the future. So sometimes it is for their higher authority, like when their question, like it is their action is questioned, then they need some justification. So for that justification, they keep the legal opinion. Sometimes it is for their higher management, and sometimes it is for authorities. Though all of us we know legal opinions have no legal sensitivity, or like I mean we can't just in court we can't show that this I have got this legal opinion and that's why I have acted, that's why, and that's why it is not illegal. It may be murder or it may be some other violation or whatever, but we know that that doesn't rule. But still, but like when we look at it, this four, all of us, like I mean the partners, and they will agree with me that most of the time it is for last, that be able to defend themselves in the future. Most of the time that is the place. And first is the list one, where they say that they want to really know what they should do. So that is by and large it's a now attending client's query. This is like answering a query of clients similar to writing an exam. So we should understand before proceeding. So this I explain now this. So before we start any opinion, first we have to look at the facts, because opinion may change if facts are different. So even if like we have given opinion on same point in some to some other client, we can't just copy paste. We can look at it, we can take that opinion's help, but first we have to look at the facts, because it fact opinion is based on facts and circumstances of each case. So first we have to understand facts, that what are the facts, what is the background, why they are asking this question, and what are the facts. So then once we know the facts in detail, then analysis of information received, whatever information we have received, we have to analyze that. Then ascertain whether information received is half or incorrect. Examine both positive as well as negative areas. Most importantly, understanding what client is asking. So ultimately, like I mean, crux of this my presentation is we should know what client is asking, what client wants to know from us, what is the real query. So sometimes there is a they have put in different way, but really they are what they are looking at, that we have to find it out. If you misunderstand or misinterpret the question, your entire answer may be misleading. Notice what the question requires you to do. So I mean, again, like we have examples for like, I mean, because we have made mistakes and we have learned. So I mean, it has happened where we, as soon as like I mean, Madhu will agree with me that as soon as like I mean got some query and like I mean, started reading and say yes we know, either that or start reading, start like I mean preparing, okay, this act is applicable, this provision is applicable, this, and when it was and then she came to me for discussion. You see, this is what like I mean it's this is the conclusion, we can say this. And then I said, didn't they ask second question that now what we should do? She said no. And then when she read, she said they they had already concluded. So they were asking what, like, I mean, we understood as a question was a statement. It was in Kannada. So, and like, I mean, it's like old Kannada. And then second was there, okay, this is, we understand this is, now tell us what to do. So which we found out was already found out by them. So we didn't have to do this. But so we are always, like, I mean, excited. Okay, we know something or we know how to do it and we just find it out. But instead of that, we have to read that again and again. That is what, like, I mean, I have learned from my senior, that always query. First, you, as like, I mean, that it's like exam we wrote. In exam also, if you, we are always, because there is a limited time. So we always just read one question and start writing. Yes, I know. Like now there are 3 options and still we said, okay, this is I know. And you write. And then you said, oh my God, what I have done. They were asking something else. And that we realize when we are back home. And sometimes when result comes. But so here we have time. There is no that much pressure. So we should read the query again and again before starting. Before, like, I mean, first quoting the fee and then starting the working on opinion. So even though a query sometimes looks very simple, the way it is worded leads us to often ignore one word, which changes the solution entirely. The very first step to provide any legal solution to any issue at hand involves the application of the law to the facts of the particular case. So basically, we are trying to say that first read the facts, then look at the law. If anyone facts, like if you require, you check with the client. If clarification required, you check with client. But again, like, I mean, my honest advice is don't ask too much, don't clarify too much, because sometimes they get the answers from there only. So then they said, okay, we know everything, now we don't need opinion. So we should not go to that extent. Deepak will agree with me on this. So then understanding of law. So once we are thorough with the facts, then next part is understanding of law. Ascertaining the applicable law, understanding the purpose of the act, reading of definition, interpretation, and examining and applying precedents. So this law consists of all these aspects. Then begin analysis of the, depends upon, I mean, opinion depends after asserting correct facts and the law. Okay. It's still loading. Yeah. So how to give an opinion? So how to start? Like here I'm talking about format. Now we have all the knowledge, facts we have the law, we have the precedents. Now how to give an opinion? So it's a like format. I think earlier this we have discussed how to give an opinion, and we have made some format also. But still I have seen, like, I mean, I have seen from Delhi office also, like, I mean, opinion prepared by some of the teams. And I thought that it's a, like, I mean, we are deviating from what we had discussed earlier. So then I thought, let me just emphasize on this once again. So begin, like, set out the facts in brief. So first we have to say the background, because opinion is based on that facts only. So it is that opinion is given or formed and given based on the specific facts or set of facts. So those facts we have to give in brief, that what we have received from you, what you have informed us, because sometimes they have told us something, based on we give opinion and say, no, it was like this. So we should be clear that this opinion is based on these facts. Then set out the law and the provisions of the law that are applicable. Then you go on to summarize the binding precedents, if any. So any, like if it is covered by any judgment, or like employment law, and when their client is asking for non-compete provision, so enforceability of non-compete provision. So we can say that no, Supreme Court is very clearly laid down the principle that non-compete is not enforceable. So then we can give that in opinion itself, we can cite that judgment. Then always remember to avoid that opinion is being given on the always remember to add that the opinion is being given on the basis of certain assumptions. So now that is also very necessary that we say, like recently I had we were giving one opinion to corporate client, and when they gave that their query was whether because it was employment under employment law, employee died and employee's wife was claiming there was no will. Employee's wife was claiming, and same time employee's parents were claiming, sister was claiming, sister along with sister's husband, they were claiming. So client came to us asking that please advise what to do. So when they say that, then along with the facts, they sent the nomination forms. So they said the employee, that deceased employee had given nomination form. He has filled nomination form, and as per that, his wife is a nominee. So when I looked at the form, in form there was a no witness and there was a no verification. And when I looked at the law, like gratuity and insurance, so everywhere it was the requirement was there that in nomination form there should be witness of signature of employee, and employer's representative should verify the signature and should confirm that I have verified and put that person's signature. Then only that nomination form is complete and valid. So what the form shared by the client with us didn't have, he had signature of the deceased employee, but there were no witness, there were no. So then I mean, in opinion, we had that put that assumptions that we assume that they have done the witness and you have the complete valid nomination form has been submitted, and then we gave the opinion that you may give the whatever benefits, employment benefits to the employee subject to this assumption that they have given proper, because otherwise future there will involve the dispute and litigation, because their family will say that no, it was not a valid nomination and you have given to wrong person contrary to law. So then you may also point out the conditions which have to exist for the answer to the queries to be possible or negative, which will advise the client as to what steps they ought to have taken to that day. So then there are that if they have done something, so then corrective action if they are seeking for. So those also we can give in opinion that now you can do this, you have done this. So now National Instruments, our client, they did some FEMA violation, and when they asked that whether now we have been asked by bank their authorized dealer this, so whether it is correct. So when we said yes, what authorized dealer are questioning is correct, and now you should do this. It's not that they can hang you for this. You have this remedy and you should try for that. So then paragraph should be numbered, because in your opinion, as a part of analysis, you may have to refer to what has been written before, and by referring to the paragraph number, so it should be paragraph. Then so sometimes now we say yes, when you at the end conclusion, so where we give the reference of query and say yes, no, and sometimes it will be in little detail. And if it is an overseas client, it is also necessary to clarify that the opinion is restricted from Indian law perspective. So we are not giving any opinion on foreign laws, and we are not qualified to do that. Then remember to use the usual disclaimer that the opinion is based on the law as it stands on the date when you are signing it, and is based on the facts and documents that was supplied to you by the queries. So, and also which documents they have given. So later they should not say that you didn't look at this gift deed, which was never given to us, in which we are not aware. So we should give the list of the documents given to us. Then we have to, all of us, like, I mean, because with this internet and like now all the X, we are happy sometimes that see everything is available online, but that is like that is helpful to clients also. So they know sitting, like, I mean, our one client hungry, like, I mean, that one intern, she sits and like she checks everything, okay, what is new law. Sometimes she gets to know earlier than us. So with internet they get to online, like, I mean, they find out the detail. So sometimes, like, just telling that this is the provision won't, I mean, that should not, that will not suffice, because even they can find out that this is the law, but still they are coming to us to know the interpretation. And as I said, that apart from what to do, how to do, sometimes it is legal opinion they keep for future purposes. And that's why I think, like, now these retired judges, they are in high demand for certain opinions because that values high. So that we have to keep it in mind, and that's why legal opinion should be in detail with provision, what is our interpretation to it, and our opinion and conclusion. So here say, remember to guide the client but never misguide. So would you like my professional advice or my honest opinion? So it's, they say professional advice is not, most of the time, not honest opinion. So, but I mean, in our form, like the practice is to give honest opinion. Sometimes we lose client, or, but they, like, I mean, if they are satisfied with our honest opinion, they will come back to us. So it's always not that you just fight the case and do this. So many times we said, no, it is not worth going to court and better you settle. So we might lose fee now, but we may earn them forever and they may come again for more work in future. So then also remember, result of good work, position to demand. So when we say, then, like, when sometimes they say that, okay, no, you give some discount, or like whether we have to pay, but most of the time we get full amount because of good work, and then we can position. So no, we'll take full amount. So he said, do you promise to pay the bill, the whole bill and nothing but the bill? So we want full amount, and that we can demand if we have done good work. So thank you. And